So I've been trying to make some willow stars that have nice, long-lasting, sparkle, fine trails, and Weingart and Pyrotechnics seems to have some pretty good suggestions. It's on page 127. He talks about Japanese stars. And I used formula number 2, which if you look at it is just almost plain lamp black and potassium chlorate with gum arabic binder and nothing else after everything evaporates. On the following page he gives suggestions on how to mix it and how to express the water. Mr. Swisher suggested a wine press, but as you can see later in the video, I've altered the technique a little bit. I tried Dave Forster's bagging method for a bit, but it was just too messy, so I did have to go back to a press type technique. Formula 2, Weingart's suggests adding alcohol to the lamp black first, as well as mixing in the potassium chlorate, and then add the water, which gum arabic's been dissolved in. So I screened my potassium chlorate through 100 mesh, and then I measured out my lamp black, stuck it in, mixed it together. I'm going to add the alcohol. And mix that up a bit. Once I get it fairly mixed up, I put it through a 40 mesh screen a couple times just to help distribute the alcohol through the comb. So the alcohol is mixed down a bit, it's still pretty lumpy, so that's why I'm going to put it through the 40 mesh. It goes through pretty easy. Comp's pretty damp, so I don't see that lamp black just blowing all over. It is windy out here a little bit right now. So it's mixed really well, but put it right back in that hole anyway. I'm going to mix it again. I just found out how hard it is to dissolve gum arabic. I like the system here with the heater and magnetic stirrer. So that's done. So all we got to do is pour that gum arabic in our solution. It's an amazing amount of water. And mix her up. So there it is. Pretty watery, and very few chunks remain. I'm happy with that. So, take this down to the mold now. I'm trying to compress the Willow formula. I've made, this is 5/8 inch high, and the inside width and length is 8.5 inches square. I'll be using the canvas that's cut 24 by 24 inches. And basically that's going to go in the mold. I'll pour my cup in there, fold it over, so it'll form a nice tight containment when it comes time to compress that. So let me get the cup that I prepared to pour it in there. I'm also going to put a little bit of prime on the bottom here. I guess your choice, but this is sort of what I'm using. I'm not sure if this is worth it or not. I may have to adjust later. So, pour the cup into the mold. Hopefully we measured right. Computing volumes, whatnot, we'll see. Looking good so far. Man, this stuff is messy. I don't know. It's filling in pretty good. Looking pretty good, actually. Might just be the right amount after all. So I'll put a little bit of that primer on top again. Again, I don't know if this is worth it or not. Maybe it's a no-no. I don't know. And fold her over. Try and get the wrinkles out. Okay. Now I'm gonna take everything over to here. This is my makeshift wine press. So we got that. Here's the top. Let's flip her over. There's the top of this press. Mike Swisher and Weingart say you could make several of these patties and press them all at once, but I'm just going to do one today. Bar. And there it is. Now, so I'll tighten everything up now. I'm just showing when I tighten, that cup is starting to come out. And what I'm going to do is kind of try and measure the distances here. So I'm shooting for 1/2 eventually, but that's at 3/4. 3/4. Three-fourths. And she's dripping out. So I'm going to shut this off a while and come back later. And I have managed to get those corners down to about 5/8, all of them. The middle is still a bit of a bulge though. But, not too bad though. The fluid that came off was much blacker now. It's getting more dilute. I just tipped this whole thing over. You can see it just run off. But it's not as concentrated anymore. So I'm going to let that sit overnight, and then we'll come back, take it out. Well, here it is tomorrow. There's no more fluid running off. I'm not going to be able to compress that anymore, I think, so I'll take all these clamps off. It's pretty flat. Lightly moist. Not quite sure if I'm going to take it off or not yet, but let's just see how sticky it is. Seems to be peeling off the edges pretty well. Looks like I might be able to take it out of there. Get an 11 mesh screen to set it up. There it is. When I do get my head in there, it varies from 8/16 to 9/16. While still a little moist, I decided to score it using Ned's technique with a 4-mesh screen. Basically just kind of rubbed it back and forth. Not sure how to cut this stuff yet, so for the hay of it, I'm gonna get a razor and cut a little bit off the edge there. See how it cuts while it's moist. If it cuts well, I'll cut it all up now before I dry it. I'd have to say it really doesn't cut well. Just trying to cut that corner off and it's real crumbly. So I think I'm going to dry it and then crack it apart